Go.
Hello, everyone. We're reading a book called Martin Luther King.
Called Martin's Big Words. Yeah, it is about Martin Luther King. Do you see this book? Who is that on the front?
I think that is Martin Luther.
It is Martin Luther King on the front. You're right. He was very happy in that picture. Doesn't he look happy?
Yeah, but he's laughing.
He's laughing, yeah. I think he had a lot of joy in his life.
Did you know they didn't follow the rules?
He didn't what? He didn't follow. Yeah, he didn't follow the rules because the rules were not very fair. Let's read the story about that. Martin's Big Words. The Life of Dr. Martin Luther King by Doreen Rappaport and illustrated by Brian Collier. So this is some stuff at Arthur's note. We're going to skip that. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs, white only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. Should we look at the picture of his mother?
Mom,
There's the sign.
Hey, Mom.
Okay, yeah, after we can read it. There's the sign that says white only. Do you see it's a water fountain? It says only white people can drink from that water fountain. Do you think that's very fair? That's not fair, right? We want everybody to be able to drink from the water fountain. And look, this is his wonderful mother. Look how beautiful she is and how strong she looks. And there's Martin.
Was her mother bad?
No, his mother was a very kind person. In church, Martin sang hymns. He read from the Bible. He listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Look at him. He's in church there reading from the Bible. And it looks like his mother might be next to him because those are the same dress that she was wearing in this picture. Right? See that? There it is. Martin grew up. He became a minister like his father, and he used the big words he had heard as a child from his parents and from the Bible.
Wait, Mom, did his father die?
Eventually he died, yeah. Everyone can be great. Those are big words, right?
Is that the white conference?
This is his church. He was preaching in his church. Look at him preaching. Do you see the church in the background? These are the windows, the stained glass windows. And this is called a pulpit. This is where a preacher stands in a church. He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a gun. Martin said love when others said hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. There he is preaching again. Look.
That is so mean.
What's mean?
You know that looks like a jail. It's kind of like a jail church.
No, it's not a jail. It's a church. It's a church, not a jail. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. Look at this as looks like maybe a mommy and a daughter who are lighting a candle, or maybe turning off a candle, like extinguishing a candle.
Maybe it's her birthday.
I don't think it's a birthday candle. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. And remember, she had planned to do that because there was a very unfair law that said that black people could not sit at the front of the bus and white people got to ask for their seats. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest. It made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. Do you see the bus?
Yeah.
This says lead to a inside, outside, on the safe side. Look at that. you see all the black people walking now? For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, someone will say there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. Definitely. It took a lot of courage to do that. It was a very scary thing. In the next 10 years, black Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop. But they kept on marching. Look at them marching. That's the American flag that they're carrying. They're marching to say, we want to be able to have the same rights as everybody else. Wait! For years I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. Martin says, we're not going to wait any longer, right? They were jailed and beaten and murdered, but they kept on marching. Some black Americans wanted to fight back with their fists. Martin convinced them not to by reminding them of the power of love. Love is the key to the problems of the world. Look at, what are they doing here? Do you see anybody doing something? Look at that. They're holding hands. See? There he is, kneeling. Look at that. Many white Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to kill him and his family. His house was bombed. His brother's house was bombed, but he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped because God is with this movement. Look here, he's praying maybe. And look at all those people. He's not alone, right? Movements are not about one person.
Yes,
They're
he
about all the
is
people.
alone. And the darkness, he is alone.
Well, he was standing alone there, but there's all those other people behind him. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protests, the lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. The white-only signs in the South came down. Look at him, raising his voice so loudly. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words, not fists. Look at this. Isn't that a very beautiful collage there? Okay, let's see what happens. Martin went wherever people needed help. In April 1968, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. He went to help garbage collectors who were on strike. He walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. On his second day there, he was shot. He died. Look. That's a very powerful picture, isn't it? His big words are alive for us today.
But was he locked in jail?
He was. At different points he was locked in jail. Very unfairly, right? Because jail is not a good solution for things. And also, it's not fair to put somebody in jail because they're protesting things that are, laws and rules that are not fair. Here we are.
Mom, now can you give me some potted poopy?
Martin's big words.